Hi everybody, my name is Alan. On behalf of the crew, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. You know, there's something that humans really feel drawn to, and they really feel enlivened by. And somehow in our busyness of our daily lives and all the stuff that we do and all the activities we have and the business and the housing and the jobs and the families and stuff, it's somewhere along the line. A lot of us, maybe not all of us and maybe in different degrees, but we've kind of lost the magic. Where did the magic of being in this extraordinary human body, having a consciousness to look in the mirror and having something register that there's something there, to be conscious of ourselves, to be conscious of the somewhere in us, the extraordinary vastness of what it is to be a human being. How did we forget the magic of that? How did we forget the magic that we're hurtling through space on a ball? How is that possible? How is it possible that all these things happen and all the dramas happen and all the busyness happen and all the lives happen and all the countries and all the religions, and we're hurtling zillions of miles an hour on this ball, this small ball in the context of this infinite, in a sense, universe? How do we forget the magic of that and get caught up in the day-to-day grind of it all sometimes? It's just an interesting thing, and I don't think anybody, any one of us in a human body, isn't subject to that disconnect at some point. We disconnect from the magic, and maybe as a species, part of what creates this incredible disharmony, this incredible trashing of the environment, the incredible disconnect from nature, the incredible disconnect from ourselves and all our brothers and sisters by all the things that separate us. That maybe in some way of describing it, is that we've lost the magic. We've lost the recognition, the experience of the unbelievableness, the beyond reason, the glorious state of what it is to take on a human body and to be on this glorious earth at this time with all the rest of us. With the beauty and the glory of the mountains and the oceans and the rivers and the streams and the animals and each one of us are different colors, different sizes, different sexual preferences, different, but that root of the oneness, of our connection, of the magic. How do we miss that? How can we possibly miss that? And that's, as I said before, the experiment here, just the trickiness of being in a human body, of being ultimately this infinite being in a seemingly finite physical form. And somehow we know that we have to get back to that root, to that heart, to that recognition of what we really are, of the magic that we are, that everyone here is, that everything here is. And if we could all get back to that magic, or as many people as got back to the magic would be good for, that you would see everything change, that the fear would turn to love, that greed would turn to cooperation and companionship and compassion. And that's what we're here to do. And tonight's guest, again, in his way, in his path, is dedicated to bringing the magic back, to bringing the love back, to bringing that connection back. Sonne Reyna is a spiritual teacher. He's a healer. He's a chief of the Yaqui-Carrizo nation of North America. He's the Sundance Society Peace Chief. He's a global advisor to tribal circles, to councils, to educational institutions, to corporations, to interfaith groups. He travels the world spreading the magic, spreading the love, spreading tolerance and connection. He's a gifted writer, artist, filmmaker, singer, author. I mean, he's one incredible guy. But there are so many people who've come now to heal the magic, to heal the heart, to bring the magic, to bring the love home, to bring us all home. And, Sonne is just an extraordinary example of that, and we're so honored to have him here and to have him travel great distances. He travels all over the world, and he came to be here with us, to be with us all at Bridging, to share his gifts and his magic. And as most of you know, we also have, on the Bridging show, videos, and we have art. And the videos we're showing tonight is one, Metaphysia 2012, which features Sonne and features him as a healer, as a spiritual teacher, as a guide, as someone who knows how to bring back the magic. And we've picked out a certain number of clips, 2 or 3 clips from that. And the subtext of that, are we being shifted? Are we all being shifted? Is the shift happening from fear to love, from separation to oneness, from craziness to magic? And the show and the video features Sonne. And so we picked out some of that. And then we have another video from Sonny's ex-wife, Laynee Bluebird Reyna, about the traditional peace sign and how even that got kind of, disharmonized and semi-backwards, like a lot of the things happen here on Earth. And as most of you know, we're in the middle of an international healing art project that came as a dream, that came as a vision, that we would use the Bridging platform that reaches hundreds and hundreds of cities in the United States and millions of people all over the world, to just reach out and say, anybody who wants to be part of this, please join us. Create a new original piece based on the theme Bridging Heaven and Earth. Whatever format, whatever size, with any skill level you have. It's not just for professional artists, it's for professional lovers, professional people who want to bring the love back, the magic back. Anybody. Any age, any skill level, any format, any size, no time frames, no paperwork, new paradigm about the love, about the connection. So we have 2 pieces, one by Sonne, an extraordinary piece, and another piece by Laynee Bluebird. So they've, in their collaboration, have done these 2 original magical pieces. And it's all part of the healing. It's all part of bringing the magic back. So join me in a short meditation, then we'll have the first Sonne video, and then we'll have Sonne here with us. So join me in a short meditation. Thank you. So the first video is called 2012 Metaphysia. Are we being shifted? What is happening on the planet? One man's quest for that, and his help in this quest. And you know, it's an hour and a half feature. It's a full feature, and we only picked 5 or 6 minutes out. So there are pieces that fit with Sonne and his participation in it. So it's really beautiful, and it gives a feeling for what times we're in and what Sonne's participation is and will be and continues to be. So enjoy.
My name is Sean, and like most people I know, I had always intended on living a happy, long life filled with many rich experiences of discovery and growth. But I would soon learn that there are no guarantees in this world. It all really began for me with a series of mysterious and unexpected phone calls from a Native American peace chief named Sonne Reyna, an authentic medicine man and healer, a true teacher of the sacred way. He was the one who first introduced me to Native American legend and prophecy, and it was Chief Sonne Reyna who first had me thinking about things as I never had before.
Yeah, Jefe. Hey. Hey, man, we got to deal with this thing, man. We can't be running away from it anymore. Yeah. What? I mean, we belong to this thing, man. We are its puppets, bro. You understand that? Yeah. But look, it's Spider-Woman, man. Spider-Woman. In the legends and the creation stories. We're at the end of a cycle, man. It's physics. It's like the 4 seasons on the Earth. There are seasons inside the galaxy. And what's this next cycle going to be about? Consciousness.
According to some Native American legends, the world began with Spider-Woman, the sacred goddess who weaved the web of creation. And in the beginning, there was rain.
The WMO said it tracked an alarming incidence of unusually adverse weather from Europe and Asia to Latin America, the Middle East, and Africa. In South Asia, monsoons have killed more than 500 people and displaced more than 10 million others. In the Middle East, the first documented cyclone in the Arabia Sea was reported in June. In China, heavy rains affected more than 13 million people. England and Wales had their wettest May and June since records began in 1766.
The legends speak of different worlds which have appeared and disappeared on Earth as great lessons to humanity whenever it had become corrupt with power, greed, and self-interest. It is said by some that we are living now in the 4th world, the world of material lessons, and again, the peoples of Earth have lost the spiritual way.
A stampede broke out in California among customers waiting for the new PlayStation game, and it was all caught on video. Retail employees asked customers to line up against the wall for the new game system, and that's when the chaos began.
According to the legends, when the peoples of the world have become corrupt, when even the sacred waters of Earth are corrupt, you can be sure the next world is coming.
I think we are at a critical time in human history, even in the planetary history. And in brief, the reason I think we're in such a crisis is because psychologically, spiritually, we're still very much asleep to who we really are.
If you look around you, any of you in this room, how many people do you know are struggling right now? How many people do you know that are questioning, who am I? The whole world is reaching a level of struggle. Why? The old systems are no longer working. Look around you. Are governments, and that is governments with an S, are they really working? That answer has to be a no. Is the educational systems really educating people, or are they working? That answer, again, one would have to say no. Are the economic systems globally, are they actually working?
Chief Reyna's ideas were now being confirmed. This was a unique and even difficult time on Earth in which there was much we needed to understand. But Chief Reyna had also emphasized some very mysterious forces at work in nature during this time. And he had encouraged me to read the many legends and creation stories of his people to understand more about them. When I did this, I remember being very impressed by several stories in particular. Stories that seemed to possess an almost otherworldly quality of magic, mystery, and extraordinary faith in the higher powers of the natural world. There were the great ceremonies for bringing rain, in which live rattlesnakes were used to carry prayers of renewal to the rainmakers in the spirit world below. These rattlesnakes were not at all feared, but were considered to be powerful brothers of the people. And there were the legends of Spider Woman, the Native American goddess of creation. She would appear whenever human beings had forgotten her sacred ways, bringing an end to the current world and heralding the dawn of a new one. And as I again considered the new century world, with all of its pressing challenges and its common disregard for the laws of nature, I had the strange sense that something was coming, and I wondered what it was. And as I continued, so did the phone calls from my new Native American teacher, Chief Sonne Reyna.
It's coming to reclaim us, man. The magic is coming to reclaim us. I'm working on 2 books. One is called The Great Humbling. We're in it. It's a prophecy.
And so it's going to...
The storm is upon us, and the people do not get on their knees.
Wow.
And pray. Separation from nature is suicide. And only the humans practice that suicide.
I again wondered whether I really wanted to go wherever this new metaphysical path was taking me. Maybe these people didn't have any greater message about life than the rest of the world. Maybe there wasn't one. But then what? I had spent years working 60-hour work weeks, catering to the endless demands of clients, paperwork, bills, and meetings. And I'd become so focused on achieving my goals that I rarely took time off to do anything else anymore. In fact, my pattern had become so predictable that the people I worked with almost expected it of me, 60 hours and all. And now, I almost couldn't bear the idea of returning home and looking forward to nothing more than a future filled with these common and ordinary routines. But it seemed I had no other choice until I noticed something unusual in the road. It was a large spider walking directly in the path of my car. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have given this much thought, but my recent phone conversations with Chief Sonne Reyna had begun making me more sensitive to the idea that nature was filled with many signs and powers of guidance. I wondered if the appearance of this spider might somehow be such a sign. And that's when I remembered the stories I had read about Spider Woman, the ancient Native American goddess of creation, who was so often depicted as representing the protection of the sacred laws and the higher mysteries of nature. And as I was standing there, transfixed in some kind of strange and sacred moment, the almost unthinkable happened. And as I rushed to help the spider avoid an even worse fate, something disturbing about the unconsciousness of the modern world suddenly overcame me. And that's when I realized this spider was a sign that there might be something more going on around me than I was presently understanding, that I must not turn back, but must commit to my original purpose, In order to truly find the answers I was looking for, and even understand the strange times we were living in, I would have to now venture deeper into the metaphysical.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So that was a beautiful video. 2012 Metaphysia, Are We Being Shifted? And Sonny, welcome. And you want to start with a little opening ceremony? Why don't you do that?
Thank you, man. It's good to be here. You know, we're on Shumish ancestral land here. And being here is real memorable for me and my clan back in San Juan Bautista, the San Juan Indian Council. And we remember, and with this little blessing song from the Shumish Nation, the great legacy left to us today by our adopted brother, the late Chief Bob Rivera, chief of the Coastal Band, and his wife, Natalie. So many memories, incredible memories of doing ceremonies and blessings up and down this coast. And also to the great memory of Grandpa Semu Huaute, probably the greatest of the Shumish medicine men, who was a World War II veteran. So to honor these great people and to honor the ancestral spirit that lives in the earth, we are all native to the earth. Hey, 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 unguwa. 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 Hey, unguwa. Hey, unguwa. All right.
Now we're ready to roll.
It's good to be alive.
Yeah, amen. Bring the magic back.
Bring it on.
So this incredible piece you're seeing in between Sonny and I is a piece by Sonny. It's called The Light Makers. Why don't you talk a little about, how it just manifested through you and the meaning and anything that you feel about it?
Well, this is really emotional. The genesis of this image. I have an 8-year-old son in Eastern France, and his mom there, and I lived there almost 3 years. And even before my son was conceived and born, I was getting images from that land, and I started sketching in dreams, because we're all native to the earth. There's no illegal aliens upon the earth. We're all native. And this for me, I labeled it delight makers, because in all of our ancestral history and legends, our ancestors are magical beings. With all respect for religion, I think religion interfered with the pure magic, the natural magic. And I'm an ordained interfaith minister, so none of you go berserk out there. I'm an ordained interfaith minister. There's goodness in every religion. But in our primality, we're pure magic. And this is our origin, this is our true personality, this is our true essence. And I believe this is what we're returning to. So how about it? Give it up. This is who you were and are and will be again. That cool? I mean, yeah. So I believe with our ancestors, and it's, the thing is that you start with pure intention. The moment you wake up, you start with your pure intention. You dedicate your life, you dedicate your day, you dedicate your breathing, your moment, your life, your gifts, your talents. The moment you open your eyes, you dedicate everything with a pure intention, because this magic is around you. You can call it God, you can call it goddess, you can call it everything except late for dinner. But this thing is magic. And so that's how I see it. And this was especially painted for bridging heaven and earth.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it just.
When in your life, I mean, did you consciously realize that that your service, that your destiny, that your, in a sense, your reason for being on the earth was to bring back the magic, to bring us back to this primordial state behind all the hubbub and the religion and the countries and the separations? When was there a moment? Was there an evolution? Why don't you talk to that?
Bro, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. I mean, we're all lucky. But I'm really lucky. I'm very grateful. On both my mother's line and my father's line, we come from endless line of shamans. And no religion could break it. No colonial government could break it. Nothing could break it because it's magic. And my childhood in both South Texas and West Texas, Lipanapache, Yaqui-Carrizo, ancestral, as far back anybody remembers, that's our homeland. Weather shamans. So my childhood, my puberty initiations, pre-puberty initiations, were hanging out with these tornado shamans who would go out day and night and dance, do a dance for this tornado spirit, and offer it some food because it's hungry, offer it something to drink because it's thirsty, and then sing because it wants to hear prehistoric music. And then I'd be clinging on to the leg of one of my aunties or one of my uncles, and that being would listen to us and look at us, and then it would jump over us. So that's my childhood, and so I refuse to grow up because that's how it is all the time. And it's only artificial culture, artificial man that's created the mess. But the mess is an illusion, and the worst casualty of this delusional artificial culture is that we're the only animal that allows millions of children to starve to death when so much food gets thrown away. We're cursed, man. So this is to bring back, this is to re-invoke, to rebirth, if you please, our magical being inside of us. I respect all the religions, but I think they conscripted the magic. And they put it in a book. Ain't doing no good in a book. I'm ordained interfaith minister. You believe what you want to believe. Be a good person. But you belong to the magic. The original Bible is Mother Nature. The original Bible is Mother Nature. Pure. Get out in nature more. Get out of your houses. Get out of your cars. Start walking barefoot, naked on the land. Become primal. That's why I painted this. What do you feel? You feel it, don't you, man? You're just
it's really beautiful. The first time I saw it, when you sent it as a an email attachment.
That's it.
And I love the name, Delight Makers. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, really, what are we missing? The magic is the joy.
That's it.
And that's what we're, what the show's about. And we call it dedicated to the oneness, but it's really to get back home to the root, to the magic, to the joy, to the unconditional love. And, there were a lot of spokes to get us there, but we really want to get home to the center.
We've returned. I believe we've all reincarnated. We're back here. I believe we're all natives. I think that the only contradiction here is the fervor over religion and the fervor over politics, and those are really non-issues, because all you got to do is witness the birth, natural birth of a child. Like I did, I witnessed the natural birth of my son, and I swear I've been through extreme ceremonies in the North American Sundance, the Lakota Society. But to witness that, it blew me away. I became an insect stuck on the wall, witnessing the most powerful, magnificent, supernatural creation ever, the birth of a child. And I'm still stuck on the wall and I ain't moving.
Oh, well, lucky you came here.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's so it's about natural wisdom. There's only one issue that is remissed, and the major issue is natural wisdom. We're overwhelmed with wisdom from everybody and everybody.
Information.
Information.
Not necessarily wisdom.
Thank you. Yeah, we're overwhelmed with information.
Right.
Where's the wisdom? Where specifically
They
is
went with the magic, and they're both heading out of town, but we got to get them back.
Well, no, they're here.
Okay, see?
They're here.
Thank God they're here.
It lives in your heart.
Right, I understand.
It comes and goes out of your mind depending on what you're drinking.
Or, no.
No, it's all good.
Right.
No, hey, it's all good.
Right.
Except war. War is unacceptable. And I pray all the time for everybody in war. And war will soon be extinct. War will very soon be extinct. That's one of the prophecies. Natural wisdom, natural culture, vis-a-vis artificial wisdom, artificial culture. And we're overwhelmed with an artificial culture. And we have been imposed with artificial wisdom. And for me, the hope is the hippie generation. It's a native prophecy that when the descendants of the European came here and traded beads and phony words for land, and then decided, well, we want the whole land, and we ain't going to trade nothing. And treaties were signed that were broken. So, I mean, there's got to be honor, but the truth of the matter is that there has been a horrible Native American Holocaust right under our feet. And the United States of America and all Americans from North Pole to South Pole are in major denial. Major denial. We're running everywhere else to impose a standard where other Holocausts have occurred. But we're in major denial, walking around in the land still wet with blood from the American Indian Wars. So we have to reclaim our courage. We're conscious beings. We're a free people. We have to reclaim our courage and say, we're going to clean up our own house, this American house. We're the jewel. We're the jewel of the world with a tainted past. And we have to summon the courage to be truthful. Truthful. Let's put the truth on the table. It's not for the debate. It's not for debate. Let's put the truth on the table and heal it with love. 1992, 500th anniversary of Columbus coming to Turtle Island, today called the Americas. I was executive board member in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, the American Indian Holocaust Project. And we were able to establish a network of major colleges and universities and major institutions. We did some serious research, at the end of which we were able to come up with a very accurate statistic. The first 400 years, and this was 500 years after first contact or first slaughter. If it's a fair war, me and you, let's get it on. But ain't no more fair wars. 340 million Native American children, women, and men dead. The American Indian Holocaust. So, in order to...
340 million?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a big number.
North Pole to South Pole.
Wow.
Over 400 years.
Wow.
This is a continent, man. This is half the earth.
That's a lot of people. Whoa.
So let's clean up our karma, America. We're trying to save everybody else. We're in the pit, America. Let's clean up our own karma and indeed, let's do a reconciliation. Let's heal the American Indian Holocaust right under our feet. And then we can claim to be a great country. Then we can help everybody else clean up their mess. So, what I see in the world today, the major distress with artificial culture is that artificial culture has abandoned the primal, natural rites of passage. See, every other creature, and we're all native to the earth, and so in native culture, every creature is also a person. And they're mostly more intelligent than us, but we've convinced ourselves that we are the superior animal. And in all native culture, all the other creatures are our teachers. So it's about reconciliation with nature. And it's about reconciliation all around the world with the native Holocaust. And then we clear the way for the magic. The magic is still here. It's full power. But we got some homework to do here.
All right, good. And maybe we have another video as well. We have homework and a video. And I want everybody to get their pads out. We'll do some homework during the video, but it's a very good video. So this is Laynee's video, Laynee Bluebird.
Wow.
Peace Up Now. So
Oh,
why
yes.
don't you talk about
Here it is.
So she talks
Here it is,
about
y'all.
why the peace sign, how it came to be, and why, again, it's disharmonious and in a way upside down. So Laynee Bluebird, Reyna, Peace Up Now. Enjoy.
My name is Laynee Reyna. I live in the historic Mission City of San Juan Bautista on the central coast of California. I am in my home, my art studio. I am an artist, obviously. This is one of my paintings. And I am a Korean wartime veteran. I was a medical specialist during the Korean wartime in the Air Force. At age 19 and 20, I saw things that no farm girl should ever see. So the rest of my life has been promoting peace through the arts, dance, music, storytelling, and my nonprofit organization is One Earth, One People, Peace Vision. I'd like to talk to you about the symbols of peace that go around the world, specifically the peace symbol that is out there now. It was created by a semaphoric flag of the Navy, which represented nuclear disarmament. It was created by Gerald Holton, a British artist, in 1958. And when he created it, he was in deep despair, of course. And from his words, he said, explaining the genesis of his idea in greater depth, I was in despair, he said, deep despair. I drew myself, the representative of an individual in despair, with hands, palms outstretched outwards and downwards, in the manner of Goya's peasant before the firing squad. He continued, I formalized the drawing into a line and put a circle around it. The designer, Holton, later came to regret the symbolism of despair, as he felt that peace was something to be celebrated and wanted the symbol to be inverted. My feeling of utmost importance is that we reverse this peace symbol as we stand up and put it up and lie, because it is a runic symbol of celebration. And so what we need around the world is peace, and we need it up now. So how we do that is we stand in prayer, we do our yoga up, and so this particular design that I created of Peace Up Now, it's a rainbow, it's all people. It stands for to be a guardian shield. It protects and shelters us, it wards off evil, and it brings us to higher consciousness and divine love. The reverse, when it's inverted, represent warning, danger, and loss of divine love. I hope that people will really think about what they do, because oftentimes they don't know the truth behind art and symbols that we use in the world. So we need Peace Up Now.
Hi everybody, welcome back. So thank you, Laynee Bluebird, for sending that piece up now. And the incredible piece you're seeing in between Sonny and I is Heaven, Earth, Woman by Laynee. Why don't you talk about that? Because you were there when she was painting it and you had a feel for it, Sonny.
You know, Laynee's extraordinary human being, Korean War veteran. She took care of the pilots who were shipped home to Air Base in San Antonio to die. And she was a young nurse, and she had the graveyard shift. And it's on her shift that she almost became a priest, because they would confess to her and then they'd die. So, very gifted, very, very, very conscious girl, and incredible painter. This is her interpretation of the original goddess. And everywhere around the world, in all the cultures, you dig deep enough and go deeper level than the religion, you find the goddess. And during the time when all of us were celebrating the goddess, there was little warfare, because there was nothing to fight, because the girls were running the show. I believe we're going to go back to that. So this is a representation of the primal goddess before an angry God showed up, and it's been pretty sad ever since that angry God showed up. But the 2012 prophecies are that indeed the prophecies of our tribal people, and it's being fulfilled right now. And this is her. This is a representation of her. White buffalo woman who came to our ancestors at the end of the last ice age, and who brought us the 7 ceremonies, the 7 rites of passage from birth to puberty to the sun dance, which is a ceremony for the men, so that men don't have to kill each other in order to bleed. We sacrifice ourselves in a ceremony and give blood, because man doesn't bleed every month like the women. So the women don't have to do that ceremony, because the women, your mom gave birth to you. So obviously the goddess never left, but religion pushed her out of the way. So the white buffalo woman brought us these 7 ceremonies with the chanupa waka, the sacred pipe. And it's the highest magic. It's pure. It's powerful. It's miraculous. It's still here. The most powerful military in the world could not destroy it during the Indian Wars. The last general who the power turned against was General Custer, because he was marching his troops to destroy the original pipe brought by the goddess. So there is a power, there's a holy power that predates religion. And it never left. It's always been here. And it lives in the heart of every creature. And we're the only one who has misplaced it. So the ceremonies to help the human being celebrate our magical sojourn, very short time in human form on this beautiful planet. And when those ceremonies are abridged, and they were given to everybody all over the world, our native ancestors all over this beautiful earth had these ceremonies. There were sweat lodges during after the last ice age all over Europe, in Siberia, in China, everywhere. So the culture of the goddess. And the sweat lodge is the womb of the earth. It's the womb of the earth. The door is the vagina. You go in to the sweat lodge through the door. The door is the vagina. The rocks and the rocks are the semen. And when we pray and we pour water on the red rocks, it is conception. It is recreation of conception. When we finish the ceremony and you crawl out the door, the goddess, your mom, is pushing you out to the world. This is power. Our mom is the goddess. So all of you out there who got problem with your mom, clean it up. She gave birth to you, nobody perfect. Clean up your mess with your mom because she done her best and that's good enough. Yeah. And all of you out there, clean it up with your mom. She did her best. She gave birth to you.
How about your dad? We should clean it up with him as well.
You got to clean it up with Daddy. He's only
human.
Clean
it up, whatever. Let's clean it.
Clean it up with Daddy. He's only human. He's just a bug.
He's trying.
My father said it. All the women are beautiful. All the men are ugly. Get over it. Just be a humble man and maintain the peace. Peacemakers. So this is all that power. This is all that wisdom that this painting brings, because it reminds us that we are the descendants of those great magical women and men. And it's still in our memory. Religion is 2,000 years old. Religion, we got. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Keep the good in it. What's not good, you gotta let it go. As ordained interfaith minister, I say that from my heart. But I'm a Sundance Society peace chief first, because that's nature. I report to her. I report to nature. I report to the mother. I report to my mom. Mama, I'm doing my best. And she says, it's good enough, boy. So this is the power, this is the wisdom, this is the ceremonies of this image, and all of us have this incredulous, magical heritage running through our veins. It's in our genetic makeup. It's in the memory. It's in our memory. So, God darn it, everybody, stop doing drugs. Stop getting inebriated, unconscious. Clean yourself up, go on a fast, get away from all drugs and intoxicants, and go out in nature. Vision quest, do your own vision quest. Get out of the cities. Get out of your little cages, your little self-imposed prisons. Get out of your little rooms, your little cages, whatever it is, a cage. You're not a miserable little dog in a cage. and release the miserable little dogs you have in cages. So it's liberation. It's liberation. It's liberation, and it's about to be imposed upon us. That's what 2012 is about. We have this window right now to liberate ourselves. It starts with you. Don't be out there preaching to the choir and all kind of phony folk out there. I mean, they're sincere, but they're preaching to the choir and they're recycling old age stuff, which is still mired and still conscripted by religious fervor. There's good in religion. Surgically remove everything else.
And you're saying that as an interfaith minister? No,
Yes, sir.
I'm kidding.
Yes, sir.
No, I understand.
Okay, this guy's my diplomat. You got some complaints, send it to him.
I take them all. No problem.
So, this is the power of this image. And Laynee Bluebird, wow, she's a cool lady. Super. Thank you, Laynee.
So let me ask you something. So, you know, in the first section, we talked a lot about a lot of the disharmonies and the indignities that, you know, have happened to the Indian people. I was surprised with how many were actually killed. But clearly there have been indignities to peoples, you know, all over the world throughout history.
Global Holocaust.
Yeah, so I mean, we know that disharmony, that disconnection from the magic, from the root, results in things like that against all peoples.
Yes.
There's ethnic cleansings everywhere you turn.
Yes.
So we know that happens. So how can we and everybody watching this show bring back the magic, heal the heart? You know, let's say in a sense, we all know that disharmony brings horrible indignities and disharmonies and ethnic cleansings and pedophilias and craziness, just utter craziness. So how can we come together? Together we can heal the heart by.
Alan, the most powerful law. The most powerful law. I studied world religions at the University of Texas after I survived Vietnam using my GI Bill. But the most powerful law, the natural order. The natural order has a protocol that is beyond the challenge of any legal or religious perspective from any human being or human organization. The natural order has a sequence which is holy, and it cannot be challenged. And this is the natural order. This is the sequence. Children are first. Women are second. Family is third. And man is last. It's ass backwards right now in this artificial culture. Man has imposed himself, and everybody else is at the end of the line.
So how do we reverse this?
Live it!
Live it.
Live it!
Well, before you can live it, you have to either experience it or realize it. So there's a lot of momentum for the disharmony and the dislocation of priorities and connectedness and all that stuff. So, and we just happen to have a new book about it. Okay, now blessing the storm. Okay, blessing the storms. Okay, talk about that. Now that we've seen it.
Hey, the spirits are running this show, man. You know it. That's why we did it. That's why we sang and everything. Spirits.
They always do, but go
they
on.
do, man. That's why you're still alive. That's why we're here.
That's right.
The hippies are going to live forever. The hippies are natives, and we're all hippies. We're all natives. This is a collaboration with my elders for a long time. Blessing the storms. Blessing the storms. And obviously it comes from my childhood with my family, the weather shamans. placating, or maybe that's not such a good word, but definitely praying and blessing major hurricane systems along the Gulf of Mexico, along the Texas coast, and major tornado systems in West Texas between Amarillo and Lubbock. That was my childhood. So I had a supernatural childhood. I wasn't playing with little toys. I was praying and dancing to tornadoes and hurricanes. And we're still doing it. We're still living this way. So this is a compilation with my elders, and it is about, it's the truth about our magical heritage. It's about all of us. But it's coming from a lineage of people who will never lose it. And we fought off all the military efforts. We survived all the Holocaust efforts, and we are shamans, and we are grateful, and we are very, very lucky to be here as shamans and on our terms at peace with the power of the universe. So this will be coming out soon. We're in final edit, Blessing the Storms. And I hope you read it, because it also involves and engages the reader, because we're all shamans. Every human being is a shaman. But 90% of the human race is in denial because it's been beat out of you through whatever.
Well, we're coming back to it. We're bringing back the magic. That's what this show's about.
It's coming back.
Right. All right. So if anybody wants any information about Sonne, the book, 2012, Metaphysia, Laynee, the art project, Alan, 805-687-2053. 805-687-2053. Good night. We love you. God bless you.